Oh, geez. Yes, Blink. I can unban.
Was Blink banned?
Yes, no, Blink accidentally banned someone. So I just went ahead and unbanned her.
All right, well, we're getting started at 0-0. Both players starting off with a fairly typical, T-spins, Tetrises, and all that. It's really going to take a moment before it gets particularly interesting, and we're already a lot of the way there. The great thing about this game is by the time I finish talking about something, it's already over, and so is the next three things.
So Haha making a series of misdrops right there, but looks like he will be able to clean that up, and he is in a relatively safer position at the bottom of his field. But of course, we do have to consider the costs and benefits of those misdrops. And of course, the benefit might be that you might be able to fix it up really quickly, and you might get back into your game. But unfortunately, the cost of that is that you spent that time fixing up the misdrop rather than setting up for something like a T-spin double or a Tetris that might have been taken advantage of by your, or you might have been able to get an opportunity off of your opponent. So that does make misdrops very detrimental to both of these players, especially at this incredibly high level of play.
And we're going to see a lot of what we saw last match, but more and just as fast, I'm sure. Uh, Expect to pay attention to how they are timing their attacks and defenses, and just try to keep an eye on, not just how high their fields are, but also how they look. And you'll really be able to appreciate a lot of the play going on here.
So it's
There.
like HaHaHa picking up the first victory and the first one on the board right there with a score of 1-0 in HaHaHa's favor. And someone actually asking in the chat if Hebomai is male or female. Hebomai is male. Apparently there was some sort of rumor that he was female, but he is actually male.
There was a thread a while back that Corrosive posted on Hard Drop with a supposed interview with Hebomai. And he said that she was a girl, and he was asking her questions like, "What do you look like?" And so can we hang out? So some people have gone back in the archives and found that thread and become confused. But no, as far as we know, Hebomai is a male.
All right. We do have Hebomai in quite a bit of a poor position at the
Ooh.
top of his matrix. Looks like there is that excellent micro from Hebomai that is going to keep him in the game right there, making sure not to block his garbage hole. And of course, if you do block your garbage hole, that is going to prevent you from downstacking. Hebomai being very careful not to do that, but unfortunately not getting very lucky with his pieces right there. Oh, a fatal misdrop right there, blocking basically his entryway with that flat blue piece. Looks like he forgot to hit that over one spot to the left, and looks like that is going to cost Hebomai the match right there. And HaHaHa going into quite a lead right there with a winning streak of 2. The score is now 2-0 in HaHaHa1744's favor.
So you saw at the very end there, Hebomai took his time and cleared a few lines when he had pending garbage to get it down as low as possible. And he knew he was going to have to break his combo to get to the Tetris, but he delayed it and defended as much as possible, got to it, and then, wasn't able to follow it up.
All right, once again, we do have some back and forth action. Actually, Hebomai, whoa! Where did that come from? HaHa basically spiking out Hebomai right there out of nowhere. 31 lines in only 18
In 18
seconds right there. HaHa picking up his third victory in a row.
This is looking dire for Hebomai, but as you pointed out, he usually hits his stride later in the matches, so I think we have a lot more to see from him still.
Yeah, so this coming from me as a shoutcaster. I've actually shoutcasted about 3 of Hebomai's matches before. And all 3 of these matches, I felt that Hebomai was not actually performing his best in the first handful of matches, up to a point where I thought Hebomai was trolling. Like we all know that Hebomai is an excellent player, literally one of the best in the world, and about to prove himself to be the best in the world right now if he manages to defeat HAHAHA1744. But Hebomai actually, for the first handful of matches in every single tournament match that I've casted for Hebomai, it seems like as if he's purposely not doing well at the beginning just to make, like, possibly give his opponent a false sense of confidence, make them, I guess, play a little bit more too confidently, too recklessly. I actually don't know the reason for it behind it, but I can definitely say that Hebomai, even though he's behind 3-0 right now, there's absolutely nothing saying that does not have an excellent chance at winning this championship.
That was a really nice spike there, too. A whole bunch of messy garbage followed up by some clean ones, and there was nothing for HaHaHa to do about that. He just didn't have this stuff set up he needed to protect himself. And showing that Hibamaya isn't just going to roll over.
Yes, thank you to one of the viewers for letting me know that the title of the broadcast is wrong. I did update this. So yes, this is the grand finals between Hebomai and HAHA1744. We did just have the semifinals just a while ago between HAHAHA and HD Blink. So again, thanks for letting me know. And of course, if you do have anything else that you want to let us know, please let us know in the chat, and we will tend to it as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we do have the score at 3-1 in HAHAHA's favor.
Hebomai making a misdrop with his eye there and struggling a little bit to figure out how to follow it up, but he did a pretty good job of it and is back on safe ground. And HaHaHa has a misdrop of his own that's going to be nasty to clean up and stacking over the top of it to boot. So, yeah.
So not only will that be nasty, well, of course not will be because the game is over now, but if you took a look at HaHa1744's field, basically that entire thing was just Swiss cheese garbage. Like, that is the epitome of Swiss cheese garbage. Like, you have to spend so much time downstacking through that even if HaHa managed to clean up that garbage at the top, Hebomai could have just gone for some high APM moves like T-spin doubles and Tetrises and just knocked out HaHa on the spot because of how long it would have taken him to get down through his field.
And Park's just spoken a bit about speed in the sense that when you're struggling with a bad field position, you're wasting time that you otherwise could have been doing something with. But the same applies to the height. Oh wow, Hebomai is in big trouble. But it manages to get through it. Anyway, the same applies to the height of the field, or doesn't manage to get through it. This game just doesn't like me talking about things, does it?
Hebomai making a fatal misdrop right there. He was going to put that that S piece to try to downstack through and finish off clearing out that garbage, but unfortunately throwing it all the way to the right rather than one spot over, and that is going to cost Hebomai the match once again right there. So the score is now 4-2 in HaHaHa's favor.
Right, so what I'm trying to say is that lines equal time, right? If you stack in a particular way, you force yourself to use more blocks to clear to the same location on your field. And that's why when players can send as much as these can send, you can't afford to raise the amount of lines it's going to take you to get down to the garbage and clear some of that away. And HaHa, he raised his by like 3 or 4 lines last game, and it just really took a toll.
All right, so once again, quite a bit of back and forth action right here. Oh, HaHa, that is a terrible misdrop. That basically creates an antenna on his field, and he's forced to stack that high in order to clean that up. HaHaHa probably not wanted to take that much of a risk trying to fix up that misdrop, but he has no choice, and now HaHa is in a very defensive and poor position right now. He is trying to do that's some nice micro right there, trying to make sure that he does not block his garbage hole and trying to get the most out of his pieces, and there it is. He does get out of that little predicament. Meanwhile, Hebomai, making a misdrop with that eyepiece, blocking that garbage hole. He is able to flip that over somehow, get the Tetris, but that's probably one of the worst misdrops that you could have. Trying to break down a Tetris right at the top of your field, but only to misdrop it one space over, and that is going to cost Hebomai the game right there, as HaHaHa saw the opportunity, took advantage of it to the fullest, and now HaHaHa is again enforcing his lead with a score of 5-2.
Not only did Hebomai lose the defensive power of taking that Tetris and knocking down the 4 lines that made it up as well, he just basically created a wall that went up to the top of his field, and he would just happen to be high enough that he could get over and just sort of rotate the piece past and get it in, but he still didn't have the defensive power that 2 Tetrises would have got him out of it, where the one didn't. And the other game, HaHa's misdrop, was actually not that bad of a misdrop. It looks nasty, but its position was such that he could platform it off pretty easily, which he did. Sometimes you can drop a piece to where you can just clear the line at the top instead of the lines in the middle and reveal the stuff that you had blocked off rather than hide it and make it hard to get to.
All right, so it looks like Hebomai picking up the victory right there, shortening HaHa's lead with a score of 5-3. And for those of you asking in the chat, this is on TetrisFriends.com. This tournament is actually being sponsored, and all the prizes are being donated by Blue Planet Software, the Tetris Company LLC, and Tetris Online. So we are supporting the official Tetris client right here. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, you can go to TetrisFriends.com, and this is the Tetris Arena. Meanwhile, Hebomai, what are you doing there?
Luckily, that was a fairly easy one to clear away too, as you saw, but he had to stack very high to do it, so it cost him a lot of time. and he's going to have to recover from that with a lot of good defensive play right here.
Looks like both players actually towards the top of their matrices right now, so it looks like Hebomai is in a safer position in the sense that HAHAHA is going to have a bit more difficulty spiking him out. It looks like HAHAHA now down stacking through the bottom of his field, sending a nice spike right on over to HAHAHA's field. HAHA going to try to down stack through this as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Hebomai still on the offense, setting up for the T-spin double, chaining that immediately into a Tetris, but it looks like Ha is going to be able to hang in there for a little bit longer as he does have that down stacking power, getting down through all of that garbage that he has on his field and setting it right back on over to Hebomai.
Hebomai is really notable for how good he is at spiking, and another misdrop there that's probably going to... Nope, he had the eyepiece and hold and was ready to go. So yeah, it was pretty nice that HAHAHA survived all of that, because whether you intended to get way up high or not, when you do and you're able to clear through it all that fast, it sends a ton of garbage to your opponent.
So some of these people are in the chat are talking about how many lines these players are sending. And of course, quite a milestone for relatively casual players is sending 1 line per second or 60 lines every minute. These players obviously are far exceeding this in basically almost every single match that they're doing. And some people have are mentioning that some people have sent over 200 lines in a single game. Now, one thing that you do have to keep in mind about that is that those over 200 lines are being sent in multiplayer rooms. So this is 1 versus 1. And the way that this system works is that if your opponent blocks garbage, your lines don't actually get added to your line meter. And so in that case, obviously it's a lot easier to do that in multiplayer Tetris because there are more possibilities for your opponents not being able to block your garbage and that being added up to your total. But I would think personally that these players are consistently exceeding the 60 APM and consistently exceeding 200 lines in their good games. If the 44 and Hebomai picking up the victory with the score, are now shortening the lead again with the score of 5-4 in HAHAHA's favor.
Really showing what you're talking about there too. They exceeded their one line a minute thing pretty easily. And one of the interesting things about that is that even if your opponent, far outstrips you in the amount of lines they've sent, it's kind of a testament to your play as well anyway, because they wouldn't have been able to get that much attack if you hadn't given them garbage to use. So it also shows, how fast both of these players and how good they are at staying
Okay,
alive.
guys, you guys are offline.
No, we're not. It's Twitch
Okay.
TV just having a bunch of difficulty on their side. So
No, we're still working.
yeah, we are still working. It's just Twitch TV. They're also streaming a lot of really popular tournaments right now on multiple channels. So Twitch basically has been having issues all day. So we are on my side. Everything is good. So just hit refresh, or actually, it might just start playing again on its own. So go ahead and refresh the screen, and we should be back into action.
Twitch is having a little bit of trouble handling the APM of these players, is what it is. Ads per minute, which is what APM is.
Ads per minute.
Oh, yeah, right. Serving up them ads, supporting hard drop, yeah. That too.
Yeah. So it looks like HAHA once again some back and forth action. Going to set up for the T-spin double right there. Chain that into a Tetris. Meanwhile, Hebomai going to down stack through and try to get down to that solid garbage he has over on his field. Try to take this opportunity as HAHA is in a dangerous position at the top of his matrix. There is that incoming garbage. Can HAHA survive? There's the Tetris, and yes, HAHA will be able to hang in there for a little bit longer. There again is that triple, and HAHA trying to frantically down stack as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Hebomai still on the massive offense, setting up for the T-spin double right there. Chaining that immediately into another T-spin double, but it looks like HAHA once again back into a safer position.
And just look at how much HAHAHA was sending out there. You don't see it because it didn't come up. I mean, Hebomai, you don't see it because it didn't come up on his screen. But Hebomai was just kicking out the output, and HAHAHA was doing everything he can to avoid taking it. And he managed to do that well enough that he's in a good position now. And now both players are actually pretty well off. And we're into the hurry-up garbage. A quick spike almost puts HAHA over the top, and now he has to play defensively again, and he's not in a good position to combo out of that. You could see he filled in the pieces pretty quickly, and he's still in sort of a bad way. Didn't manage to get it to where he could defend well through it, and he loses that game. 172 lines sent from Hebomai to 110 from HAHA, and that's in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so 135 seconds for 175 lines. That was pretty amazing.
All right, so the score is now tied up 5-5, both Hebomai and HaHaHa. And as I mentioned earlier before, Hebomai has consistently been doing poorly in the first few matches of the tournament, but then he just makes an epic comeback. Like, it's like no big deal for him. And as we see right now, HaHa was actually in the lead 3-0 at the beginning of the game, but now the score is tied up 5-5.
I actually think Heba's kind of nervous or something. His were earned by HaHaHa, just like this one, which was just a quick spike that took him out right away.
Oh, viewers actually saying that that was a perfect clear right there.
Oh, it was a perfect clear.
I wasn't even watching
field.
because I was the stream apparently crashed again.
Yeah, one of the really necessary skills for players at this level is to be able to pay attention to both fields at the same time. And there's a reason that I'm sitting here talking about it instead of playing it. Perfect clears, as we were talking about earlier, can be a really useful surprise weapon, kind of. And you can sometimes even get them opportunistically in the middle of a game, and it almost always ends the game there because they send a good 10 lines, I think, half a field full of garbage.
Yeah, for those of you wondering about the constant stream crashes, the League of Legends World Tournament is also going on right now, and I believe Twitch TV has never actually had a tournament of this big of a scale from League of Legends, so that is consistently messing around with their servers. If for whatever reason the stream stops working, you can either just hang in there and it should start back up again. Otherwise, you can just refresh the screen once in a while to see when it's going to be back up. If you happen to miss any of the any portions of the tournament, the replays of this tournament will also be uploaded both to Twitch TV and to YouTube.
Try not to hammer Twitch by refreshing a whole bunch of times because that will only make the problem worse, both for you and for everybody else.
Yeah, we do have a... Yep, it is consistently chunking up. So yeah. Yeah, all right. So let's hop right back into the game. We do have a score of 8-5 in HaHaHa's favor. So actually, Hebomai losing his momentum right there, and HaHaHa picking up 3 victories in a row right there. Now enforcing his... Oh wait, what? Are you sure it's 8-5? What is... Oh, I actually don't know what the warm-up results were.
5, 7, 5, 8. Yeah, it's Hebo -3 and HaHa -1.
All right.
So yeah, HaHa's really proven his worth here. We've heard his name before, spoken in revered tones by professional Tetris players, but we never really got a chance to see him perform on this scale, on this kind of a stage. So it must be pretty cool for him to have the opportunity to show off like this.
All right, so once again, hopping right back into the match, we have Hebomai. Looks like he was getting pushed towards the top of his matrix, and actually still is. Looks like he's going to set up for the Prophecy T-Spin double, but no, he's just going to downstack through that. Of course, the Prophecy T-Spin double is setting up for a T-Spin double. Oh, Hebomai, fatal misdrop. Fatal misdrop right there with that OP is preventing him from downstacking any further and creating a flat antenna in the middle of his field, blocking his garbage hole right there, blocking his entryway actually, and HaHa once again picking up a victory. This is his 4th victory in a row. HaHaHa is on a roll right now. The score is now 9-5 in HaHa's favor.
Now, of course, this is a double elimination tournament, so even if HaHaHa wins this match, he will not win the finals until he does it one more time. Yeah, Hebomai gets the luxury of losing twice, just like everybody else does.
Yes, that is the...
But if Hebo wins this one, he wins the entire tournament.
Yes, that is. So this is set number 1. So if HaHa manages to win this tournament, then this match, then we will go on to set number 2 between these two, and that is how the double elimination tournament works out. Because HaHa came out from the winner or from the losers bracket, so we do want to give Hebomai an opportunity to lose as well, just like HaHaHa, and still be in the tournament.
You were talking about Prophecy T-Spin doubles and stuff like that.
Yes, I was.
Before you send spike.
Prophecy T-Spin double is when you set up a T-Spin double without actually having it be very apparent. So I'm sure we're going to see some T-Spin doubles or Prophecy T-Spin doubles eventually throughout the tournament again. But a Prophecy T-Spin double is when you know after you break some lines, that T-Spin double is going to show up. So you just prepare for it even before you break any lines. So as we saw in HaHa's example right there, he dropped a piece that looked like a misdrop, but after he cleaned a Tetris, that misdrop actually ended up setting him up for a T-Spin double right there.
That's one of the marks of the really good players as well, is the ability to see and use those. So you're not just throwing away the pieces that you don't have a use for right now, you're using them to set up stuff later down the road that you can't even do right now. And it's also another reason why misdrops can be so critical.
All right, so the score, I believe, is 9-5. Someone was
9 to
asking for
5.
that. Yes, the score is 9-5 in HAHAHA's favor. So Hebomai on a little bit of a disadvantaged position right here. So let's see if HAHAHA can take this momentum and proceed to win this match. Looks like HAHAHA in a relatively dangerous position at the top of his matrix right there. It looks like he could have gone for the T-spin double right there, but of course deciding I just want to take the safer route right now because I'm in a really bad position as Hebomai is still on the offense right now. He's going to set up for the T-spin double right there, possibly chaining that. Yes, he's going to chain that immediately into a Tetris. A huge spike coming into HAHAHA's field, and to make it even worse for HAHAHA, we are past 2 minutes, so we do have that solid hurry-up garbage coming from the bottom, but HAHAHA, excellent down stacker right there, literally at the bottom of his field, and now it is Hebomai on the defense. Can Hebomai hang in there any longer? Oh, he looks like he misplaced that blue piece. If he had microed that blue piece to clean, he would have had that I piece to hang in there for longer, but HAHAHA sending him way too many lines, making Hebomai mess up right there. Looks like HAHAHA enforcing his lead once again. I believe he's now on a 5-game winning streak, and the score is now 10-5 in HAHAHA's favor.
Yeah, a couple things to note that last game too. HAHAHA got in that bad position by a couple of misdrops that were easily cleaned up, but not easy to get past quickly. And then when he passed up that T-spin double, it was because he was comboing, and that enabled him to live as opposed to die.
All right, so someone asking in the shout box what micro is. So I'm actually a League of Legends and StarCraft caster as well, and I play those. So I actually sort of like universalized some terms, like just some general gaming terms. So micro is the opposing, like the counterpart to macro, and micro basically means you just focus on one element and make sure to do it to the best that you possibly can. So in this Tetris situation, some good micro would be like when you're at the top of your matrix, you make sure that every single piece is being placed in the best possible place. So sometimes if you're in a rush, you might just if there are multiple opportunities, like multiple places that a piece could be placed into, you might just drop them down as quickly as possible. But when you're in a precarious situation, like right at the top of your matrix, like on line number 19 out of 20, you need to make sure that every piece is going to help you get in a safer position. That is micro, as opposed to macro, where macro is just looking at the big picture and making sure that you set goals for yourself and make plans to top out your opponent. Oh, HAHAHA, what are you doing there? That is not how you play Tetris, HAHAHA, just dropping pieces all over the place. Looks like he might have actually been trying to do some platform clears, but looks like that didn't work out too well for him. And Hebomai, of course, taking advantage of that opportunity, and the score is now 10-6 in HAHAHA's favor.
I think that was like 2 consecutive misdrops, and he could have fixed one of them with a spin, but he had the wrong piece and just tried to platform him out instead. More Tetris terms here, yes. The spins are one of the properties of the pieces in modern Tetris games is that if they cannot rotate in a certain way, they still have other options, and it tries multiple options. So part of that micro Parker was talking about is manipulating the pieces into positions that it doesn't seem like they should naturally go. But it really does give you a lot more options for how you stack your pieces and the ability to keep your field cleaner and fix misdrops.
So people are talking about the upcoming pieces in the shout box. So I do want to mention that. So for HAHAHA, that's a really brutal misdrop right there. He does need multiple eye pieces to fix that up. It looks like he will be able to get back in there. So the next piece is on TetrisFriends.com. You are able to see, I believe, either 4 or 5 of your next pieces. So that basically sets up an opportunity for you to plan ahead quite a lot, and that actually makes it possible for people to do stuff like 4-wide combos where the placement of your pieces is crucial and you really need to know what pieces are coming up. Now, unfortunately, in this game version, on the Tetris Friends version, you are not able to see your opponent's upcoming pieces. So that, if you're able to see your opponent's upcoming pieces, that brings prediction to a whole new level. Like if you can see a T-piece coming up in their field, you might predict the T-spin double and adapt to it. Now, unfortunately, Tetris Friends does not have that feature, so it is not that high level of prediction. But you are able to see your next 5 pieces. It looks like Hebomai spiking out HAHA right there. Victory via knockout, 104 lines sent in 1 minute and 27 seconds versus HAHAHA's 88. And looks like Hebomai once again going to shorten HAHAHA's lead with a score of 10-7.
Yeah, you did get 5 next pieces and the active ones. So you can kind of see six, and if you make use of hold it right at the beginning, you can see your full first bag.
All right, Hebomai opening up with a misdrop right there, but looks like he will be able to fix that up. Meanwhile, Haha going to go for the hybrid T-spin double and Tetris setup. Now, I did mention this a long time ago in this chat, but we do have a great example right here. In the hybrid T-spin double and Tetris setup, you basically have the Tetris hole towards the middle of your field, and you can take advantage of that by either setting up for a T-spin double or a Tetris with that setup. So regardless of like what setup you have or what opportunities you have, as long as the pieces are there, you can either go for a Tetris or you can go for a T-spin. That actually makes it very efficient and basically helps you adapt to the incoming pieces because, of course, although this is on a bag system, you basically don't really know what pieces you are going to get in what order. Up to like a significant degree, so that helps you prepare for pretty much anything that's coming up.
And obviously having more options is always better because, whoa, I don't know what that was from Hebomai, but it didn't work. And Parksher mentioned the bag system. The randomizer, the thing that generates which pieces you get, in this game uses what we call a 7 bag. There's like, it takes one of each pieces, so there's 7 pieces, and it just mixes them all up, and it feeds them all out in order, and then it does it again. So you're actually guaranteed one of each piece every 7 pieces, but sometimes they can be very far apart or very close to each other. And so that last win left Haas 11-7 over Hebomai, by the way.
Now, of course, the upcoming the randomizer that also creates the importance of the hold piece, because if you want to do some back-to-back Tetrises or back-to-back T-spin doubles, you really need to have those I pieces or those T pieces on hold. That's definitely what you want to consider holding in your next piece or a hold piece. And whoa, looks like Haha just having a little bit of just trouble there overall, not really being able to do much as Hebomai is constantly pummeling him with garbage right there. 49 lines sent in 30 seconds. Victory via knockout, and that shortens Haha's lead by a little bit more with a score of 11-8.
Yeah, if he sees a chance like that, he will go for it, and you had better be prepared. Hebomai, I mean. Yes.
Alright, so if you're just tuning in, this is the Tetris Tournament Online II, hosted by HardDrop.com, sponsored by the Tetris Company LLC, Blue Planet Software, and Tetris Online, also with some support and sponsorship by Twitch TV. So a huge thank you for Twitch TV for that, and it looks like we are back into this match. Haha getting dangerously close to topping out. Yeah, I just noticed that huge spike right there. Can Haha skim his way out of this? No, he cannot. Hebomai picking up the victory right there and shortening Haha's lead once again with a score of 11-9.
48 lines in 26 seconds that time. And Hahaha mid-game dropped an eyepiece vertically and missed the Tetris. So he lost a lot of defensive power, and the spike was able to overwhelm him.
All right, so we have game number 21 coming up right here. Of course, if you're unfamiliar with the tournament setup, this is the first to 15 win by 2. Now, the first person to hit 15 wins would be the victor, except if they don't have a margin of victory of 2 or more. So we did see that in the previous match that we just saw between HaHaHa and HD Blink for the semifinals, as the final score was 16-14. So we might have a win by 2 situation in this match as well. Meanwhile, HaHaHa in a great position at the bottom of his matrix, going to try to stack up for the T-spin doubles right there. I'm going to try to down stack as much as possible. Meanwhile, Hebomai doing the same thing, setting up for the T-spin single, which of course is breaking one line with the T-spin, and going to down stack through that as well. And meanwhile, sending a lot of garbage over to HaHaHa's field. Haha looks like he might have actually overcommitted to that T-spin double. That basically prevented him from down stacking, but it looks like he will be able to clean that up. Set up for another T-spin double right there. I actually don't think we even saw the T-spin double, as the spectator mode does have a little bit of lag to it, but it looks like he did break down that T-spin double. Oh, possibly a misdrop with that. Whoa. I don't even know if that was a misdrop or if he had purposely set that up. That was a great T-spin double. So if that was a misdrop, that was a great fix. If not, that was some excellent prediction skills. And while we say that, Hebomai getting constantly pummeled with garbage from HaHaHa. HaHaHa picking up the victory right there. 72 lines sent to 75, and HaHaHa once again enforcing his lead with a score of 12-9.
And that was a very confident placement from HaHaHa there too. So it shows that he has an intimate familiarity with the pieces, knows exactly how they move, and is not fumbling around with them. So he was able to, I'm pretty sure he set that up intentionally. Or it was an intentional fix to a misdrop that was just an opportunity. But either way, he knew what it was and he went for it as soon as he saw it.
All right, so the score is now 12-9 in HaHaHa's favor. And as I say that, we have a 13-second match. 22 lines set in 13 seconds for Hebo Mai. And Hebo Mai showing the lead once again, 12-10. Did you see what even happened there?
No.
Oh,
Imagine
great.
it's the same as most quick matches, which is one player stacking up and doesn't have the defense, and the other player gets a lucky spike. Like the garbage comes up in just a great way, and they're able to take advantage of it.
All right, so
Particularly with those T-spin doubles stacked on top of Tetris's things, like you were talking about. That's a real staple of multiplayer play.
Hebo Mai actually doing that himself right there. Going to go for the T-spin doubles and Tetrises, consistently having a ton of damage output over to HaHaHa, but HaHaHa being able to hang in there and actually block a lot of that garbage or just send it right back on over to Hebo Mai. HaHa getting pushed again to the top of his field, but of course we do know that that doesn't mean anything at all at this high level of play, as HaHa easily able to downstack through pretty much everything on his field. He does make a misdrop there with that T-piece, but able to do a nice fix-up with that nice spin. It looks like he's going to stack up for a T-spin double right there and chain that into some Tetrises and downstacking to get in a safer position.
And they're asking after the prizes again, so I'm going to go look that up. I'll let you take over for a moment.
All right. People are people are spamming me in my personal chat to go over the prizes. So it looks like Mind's Eye is going to go ahead and get that looked up.
I had to go find the file, you know?
Yeah.
So the prizes are provided by Blue Planet Software and Tetris Friends. The first place prize is a Samsung Galaxy Tab 2, 7-inch version, and 50 rubies for TetrisFriends.com. The second place is a Tetris clock and 40 rubies for TetrisFriends.com. These are the two prizes that these players are fighting over right now. Third place is going to be a 32 gigabyte SanDisk Extreme USB 3.0 thumb drive and 30 rubies for TetrisFriends.com. And the runner-up, fourth place, gets a copy of the Tetris Link board game.
And of course, we do have consolation prizes as well. The random drawing for all of the competitors who competed in this match and completed their matches, or competed in this tournament and completed their matches, will be entered in a drawing for a Tetris mug, as well as 20 packages of 20 rubies each for TetrisFriends.com. So there will be 21 people in this tournament who did not get first through fourth place, who will still not be going away empty-handed. And of course, those prizes are being provided courtesy of Blue Planet Software, Tetris Friends Online, and Tetris Online and the Tetris Company LLC. And HaHaHa picking up another quick victory right there. 20 lines sent to 11 in 18 seconds. So basically just handing the short game right back on over to Hebo Mai, as Hebo Mai picked up an easy victory earlier, and HaHa doing the same thing right there. So it looks like the score is now still in HaHa's favor, 13-11.
That early lead is really working to HaHa's advantage here. Hebo Mai is still on the back foot and just sort of clawing his way back, but he's still behind by 2, and HaHaHa only needs 2 more to win. And it's not going to help if Hebo Mai keeps misdropping like that either. Ugh.
So again, Hebo Mai looks like he's possibly was going to try to time something, but I actually questioned his decision right there, as HaHaHa only had T-spin doubles and Tetrises right there, so that would have sent a lot of garbage on over to Hebo Mai's field. But it looks like Hebo Mai, of course, a lot better at Tetris than I am, so of course Hebo Mai tends to have these genius plans that come out of nowhere and basically win him games with clutch plays and clutch garbage sends. So it looks like Hebo Mai still hanging in there, going for the T-spin double, going to try to downstack through his side of the field. Meanwhile, HaHa doing the same thing, needs the eyepiece. Yes, there is the eyepiece, so it looks like he will be able to hang in there and block a lot of that incoming garbage. Setting up for the T-spin double right there, going to downstack. Oh, a misjob with that O piece. Can he fix that up? It looks like he will be able to fix that up. And Hebo Mai, unfortunately, not having the damage output ready to spike out HaHaHa and take that opportunity. So it looks like both players, again, in a relatively good position towards the middle and bottom of their matrices.
Hebo Mai had a nice little short combo there that sent a lot of messy garbage over to HaHaHa. But while he was recovering, HaHaHa stacked through it all, and at the same time, Hebo Mai managed to clear a bunch of doubles and send even better and more messy garbage back over. And yet, HaHa's almost through it all again.
So go ahead.
Yeah, what? Go on.
Someone mentioning in the Twitch TV chat asking if there was Ghost Piece enabled. Yes, there is Ghost Piece. Ghost Piece, actually, for those of you who are more familiar with classic Tetris rather than the competitive version, you might not actually know what Ghost Piece is. So Ghost Piece is where you are able to see where your piece will fall, and it's actually a little ghost of what the piece would be if you had just hit the hard drop button. That actually enables these players to go extremely fast at these rates that they're playing right now, as it does help them see where the piece is going to fall and helps them avoid a lot of misdrops. So basically every feature available on Tetris Friends is permitted and probably being used for both of these competitors in this game to try to make their gameplay as efficient and as optimal as possible. Meanwhile, HAHAHA in a really bad position right now. Looks like he will be able to downstack through that and block a little bit of garbage, but he does have 4 lines of hurry up garbage at the bottom of his field, pushing him near death. HAHA really needs to downstack as quickly as possible and try to prevent HAHAHA from spiking him out right now.
And he manages to do it too. He pulled off a quick T-spin followed by a garbage-based Tetris, and HAHAHA is going to have a real hard time. I don't think he has the right piece. He's just juggling his Z piece up there now, trolling us. Look at that. So what HAHAHA was doing there is he was just rotating his piece to kick it up off the ground again. Unlike the older versions of Tetris, where the piece locks into place as soon as it touches, in more modern games, there's an amount of time it has to wait. So we call it the lock delay. So it might take like 30 frames, half a second or something before the piece locks into place. And so HAHAHA was just sitting there goofing off because he knew he wasn't going to be able to win.
Actually, that is somewhat of a strategy, as if he had stalled, so of course, probably not something we're going to see in this high level of a play, but if you actually go ahead and do that in the lower level of games, your opponent might actually top himself out by himself, because the hurry up garbage comes up for your opponent but not for you, because the hurry up garbage only procs when you're actually placing pieces down. So that actually is somewhat of a strategy, but it looks like that's not going to work out too well. And HAHAHA actually picking up the victory right there with the score of 15-11. So HAHAHA takes the set right here, and we move on to set number 2 for the grand finals.
So here we go, 0-0, first to 15, win by 2. This is for the Samsung Galaxy Tab. First place prize. Runner-up gets a clock. And rubies for TetrisFriends.com, which allow you to do things like buy block skins and backgrounds and whatever, I think.
So yes, this is, whoever wins this game wins the whole thing, but this, not necessarily just the game, but this is a set. So this is first to 15 victories, win by 2. So it looks like this is the first tournament match. The two players flip positions, so it looks like HAHAHA is on the left side this time and HAHAHA is on the right, and this is the last set, the last match for the grand finals. We do have HAHAHA looked like he was in quite a dangerous position towards the top of his matrix, but looks like, of course, showing off his great downstacking skills, getting down through everything on his field. Meanwhile, HAHAHA looks like he's going to try to downstack through the garbage as well. Both players just going back and forth, sending some garbage back and forth to each other, and of course, we are waiting for those clutch moves, those opportunities that are going to show up, and both of these players might see these and take advantage of those, such as misdrops or just combos that they set up. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
HAHAHA had like a quintuple Tetris set up there or something. The thing went almost to the ceiling. He almost got knocked out just because he didn't have the eyes declared out. Oh, that's not going to help HAHAHA either. He got the pieces just in time to fill it up and combo down, but he still needs to get his next eyes quickly.
HAHAHA now in a better position right here. Someone asking what the gray garbage blocks are at the bottom. These, that is actually garbage. So when you break lines on your side of the field, that sends garbage over to your opponent's side of the field, and that is what we're seeing right now as HAHAHA. When HAHAHA breaks stuff on his field, that gets sent over to HAHAHA's field, and when HAHAHA breaks stuff on his field, that gets sent over to HAHAHA's field. And that is a technique that you would use to knock out your opponent, flood them over the top of the screen, and pick up the victory. So the score is now 0-0. This is game number 1 of the set 2 grand finals. So the first person to win 15 matches in this set, or in a win by 2 situation, will take home the grand prize and be crowned the next world champion for competitive Tetris.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm just
All right.
watching these people play, you know?
I get caught up in the game. Alpha Troll asking in the chat, how many people entered this tournament? I believe it was over 170 competitors for this tournament. And of course, this was open to worldwide audience. So again, we do have the best players in the world competing right here. And these two players both residing from the country of Japan.
There were 176 entrants joining it. And it's come down to these two.
Oh, apparently my volume was on maximum. Sorry about that. Yeah,
my music is on.
The game sounds were apparently so loud that it hurt people in headphones. I actually did not expect that to happen. But yeah, the sound is turned off now, so you'll only be hearing our voices, me and my co-commentator Mind's Eye.
Hebo takes the lead with that first set. I think that's really what he wanted to do. HAHAHA got the warm-up match, so his score is going to read 1, but that's not counted towards the actual game itself. So now let's see if Hebomai can expand that lead and maintain it to retain his title.
Setting up for, once again, some more T-spin doubles and Tetrises right there, sending quite a bit of solid garbage on over to Hebomai. Meanwhile, Hebomai exposing that solid garbage, sending it right back on over to HAHAHA. Ha going to set up for that Tetris and integrate that into a solid garbage to send some lines right back on over again to Hebomai, and Hebomai setting up for the T-spin double. So as we can see, the T-spin double and Tetris, the very preferred move of choice for both of these players. Hebomai going to go for some back-to-back Tetrises right there, while HAHAHA stacking up again and exposing that garbage hole for the down-stacking Tetrises.
Tetrises are preferred because you get free Tetrises in the garbage that people send you. And T-spin doubles are preferred because they're a good balance between efficient and easy to pull off. Like, you can send a T-spin single, but it's harder to set it up appropriately, and it's not really worth the effort. And when you send a T-spin triple, you kind of have a mess left over. We haven't seen more than one of those this whole time, and we haven't talked about it yet, but if we see one, I'll point it out because it's harder to describe.
Oh, we do have the Spider coming up, the back-to-back T-spin double right there. The Spider winning Hebomai the game right there, 103 lines to 100. I was actually requested specifically before the stream by Jixu to go ahead and mention the Spider if it was ever to show up, and Jixu must be ecstatic right now, seeing that Spider right there, and actually helping Hebomai pick up the victory right there. The score is now 2-0 in Hebomai's favor.
That Spider, or Fractal as some people know it, is the two T-spin doubles that were stacked on top of each other, and it's a great way to sort of recover from either a misdrop or a T-spin double that you couldn't quite set up. It can be a little bit dangerous to clean up, but at the same time, you get two quick T-spin doubles, which sends quite a bit of garbage. Quick win there for HAHAHA, 20 lines sent to 17. I don't know what happened.
I was actually reading the chat, so I wasn't really paying attention, but it looks like HAHA picking up the first win of this set, and the score is now 2-1 in Hebomai's favor.
Looked like just a sudden spike and unprepared defense, I guess.
All right, so I did mention the Spider, so it looks like Raven Dark Sky is posting the Fumin for the Spider. So if you guys want to see a replay of that, where you can control the pieces falling, then you can go ahead and check that out, and you can see the Spider. Meanwhile, we have game number 4 coming up between HAHAHA and Hebomai. HAHA downstacking through that solid garbage. Looks like he might be able to combo this down through an epic spike up, but it looks like Hebomai still in a really safe position at the bottom of his matrix, actually constantly on the damage output. So actually ending up blocking garbage rather than setting it on over to Hebomai's field, setting up once again for the T-spin double and going to chain that into some downstacking combos. Another T-spin double right there. And a misdrop with that orange piece. Let's see if this is going to prevent him from downstacking any further. Hebomai going to try to take advantage of this. Still not in a safe position, but it looks like he will be able to hang on for a little bit longer.
Waiting with the Tetris there so he can defend, which was smart. And now he's going to probably try to combo as much as possible at the right times, but he got the wrong pieces, and that was it. Hebomai sending 84 lines in 56 seconds to HAHAHA's 36. Showing that HAHAHA was defending like the entire game, pretty much. Score is 3-1 in Hebomai's favor.
All right, so we have game number 5 coming up between HAHAHA and HAHAHA. HAHAHA looks like he's going to start up with a Tetris opener, while HAHA going to go for the T-spin double opener. Going to use that T-spin double Tetris hybrid build, but it looks like HAHAHA setting up for the T-spin double when he wasn't actually done completing the other one. And if he had completed the other one, it wouldn't even have set up for the other one. So I'm not quite sure what HAHA was doing there. A little bit overzealous with those T-spin doubles, but it looks like he will be able to get down through that and set up for some more T-spin doubles and Tetrises. Meanwhile, HAHA doing the exact same thing, setting up for some more T-spin doubles. And Tetris is trying to spike out HAHAHA. Ha is at the top of his field. Can he hang in any longer? There's that epic downstacking, but no. HAHA sending way too many lines all at once. 48 lines sent in 34 seconds. Incredible APM right there, and HAHA picking up another victory and again reinforcing his lead with a score of 4-1.
That was a massive downstack, or a massive spike. I mean, you could just see the line keep going up and up and up, even though HAHA was making excellent progress. And that all stemmed from where he missed a Tetris with an eye. Showing
Hop right back into the game, game number 6, and of course this is first to 15. Looks like HAHA in quite a momentous lead right now with a score of 4-1. So let's see if HAHA can get back into this, as HAHA just actually defeated HAHA in the first set. So let's see if he can do that again, or if HAHA is going to dominate this game as he is right now. HAHA going to try to downstack as quickly as possible. Going to set up for, is that a T-spin triple? No, it is not. It's not a T-spin triple. It could have been set up for a T-spin triple, but he was dangerously close to the top of his matrix, so it looks like he was not able to set that up. And of course, for those of you unfamiliar, T-spin triple is when you spin a T-piece into a hole and actually break 3 lines due to that and send quite a bit of solid garbage over to your opponent. So HAHA going to safely downstack through what he has on his field, while HAHA also in a safe position.
T-spin triples don't make any sense when you first start playing guideline Tetris from having a history in the more classic games. But hopefully somebody will paste a Fumin in the chat or something so you can see what we're talking about. It just sort of flips under a little overhang, and HAHA making a bad misdrop and unable to recover from it, giving one more to HAHA, 5-1. Just about reversing the situation from the last match.
So thank you, Caffeinated Tetris, for posting that link on the chat. Meanwhile, we do have HAHA consistently dominating here with a score of 5-1 in HAHA's favor.
HAHA, of course, is the winner of the last Tetris Tournament Online and the favorite to win, I think, for most people, even Blink, as shown in his Facebook poll.
Yeah, so a little interesting thing about that. Blink actually posted a poll on the Hard Drop Facebook page, and he said, who do you think is going to win in this tournament? So there were, the options were either HAHA, HAHA1744, and HD Blink. Now, Blink was the one who posted the poll, but he actually voted for HAHA. So that shows how popular and how much of a favorite HAHA is in this tournament. And HAHA once again continuing now a 4-game winning streak with a score of 6-1 in HAHA's favor.
38 lines in 19 seconds there. That's actually 2 lines a second, which is pretty scary.
Alright, we have game number 8 coming up between HAHA and HAHA. HAHA looks like he was going to set up for the T-spin double right there, and he did manage to successfully pull that off, but HAHA meanwhile setting up quite a bit of more damage up and over on his side as well. He's going to try to downstack through all of this, everything on his field and try to spike out HAHA. HAHA unfortunately getting some unlucky garbage placement right there, but looks like he will be able to get down through that relatively quickly. Meanwhile, HAHA also having a lot of solid garbage going over on his side, and as we have seen throughout this tournament, he is very dangerous when he has a lot of ammunition over on his side, but looks like he will be able to downstack through that, and HAHA getting in a safer position. Meanwhile, HAHA still on the defense, I believe, as he's still trying to downstack as much as possible, but there it is. He gets down to a safer position. He's going to set up for the T-spin double. Meanwhile, HAHA getting dangerously close to topping out.
We saw from HAHA what is called a donation T-spin double just a bit ago, too, where he covered up his Tetris hole with a piece in order to get a T-spin double, which then freed it back up again. We have names for all of these little things. Donation being one of the more common kinds. Sorry, go.
Looks like HAHA getting dangerously close to topping out once again. HAHA, that T-spin double, is it going to be enough? Yes, it is, as HAHA, unfortunately for him, not able to use anything to block any of that garbage. HAHA sending 111 lines in 73 seconds and picking up the victory once again. The score is now 7-1 in HAHA's favor.
I always see those numbers, and I see the time is 1:13, and I'm like, that's about 1 per second, you know. but really that's 111 in 73 seconds, and that's a lot more impressive.
Yeah, because 1 minute is 60 seconds,
Yes, I
unless some
know.
of you didn't realize that.
Well, the numbers are right there next to each other. You see 113 and you see 111, and it's like, hey, they're pretty close.
Yeah, not quite as close as it might have appeared to be. Um, looks like Hebomai once again going to go for the T-spin double and
Oh,
Tetris openers, or I mean the hybrid setup. But
nice.
Hebomai making quite a misdrop right there with that T-piece. So not only was he forced to fix up that misdrop, but he no longer had that T-piece to could use that for that T-spin double. But it looks like regardless of that, Hebomai still in a really good position, setting up for the T-spin double again. Going to go for some T-spin doubles again and go for some back-to-back Tetrises right there. Going to try to spike out HAHAHA, but Ha still in a relatively good position. Going to set up for the T-spin double and chain that into a little bit of down stacking. Another T-spin double thrown in there for style and some more down stacking through that solid garbage.
That's the kind of move I love to see. Hebomai misdropped that T and made it into an air T-spin double. Both, not only did he clear the damage that he got from misdropping in the first place, but he sent an attack, cleared out the stuff that was in the way, and managed to just keep on going like it was intentional the whole time. Taking another game, 97 lines to 72 lines. Hebomai in the lead, 8-1 now. He is on a tear.
So I'm bringing this up quite a bit throughout the stream, but I did mention that Hebomai has a tendency to I would say troll in the sense that he purposely I personally think, in my opinion, he purposely loses a handful of matches at the beginning of tournament matches just to either to I actually don't have a clue why, possibly to make give his opponents an overbearing sense of confidence and turn them into a reckless player, or just basically to just have some fun. Now, in the previous tournament, Hebomai was defeated by HaHaHa, but in this tournament, Hebomai is going at a score of 8-2 right now. So a lot of people actually mentioning that Hebomai again might be trolling or was trolling, and now Hebomai, this is his true skill. HaHaHa, in out of 10 games, can only take 2 games out of Hebomai, and some people saying there's absolutely no chance that HaHaHa is actually going to defeat Hebomai. Blink actually mentioning maybe Hebomai purposely lost the first one to get some more airtime on stream.
I don't know. I'm of two minds about that. Haha did say, or I mean, Hebomai did say he was getting some lag, and he restarted his browser, so maybe that cleared up a little bit. But I do know a fellow I used to play a different game with who would always lose to put himself in a bad situation so that the pressure would force him to perform, right?
Yeah, that
So
makes
he would
sense.
always he'd go into these duels and they'd play to 5 and he'd let the other guy win 4 games, or he'd just screw around and then he'd come back 5 in a row. I
Well,
think he just loved to show off.
that surely makes the games a lot more intense and a lot more edge of the seat action right there. But it looks like Haha picking up the second victory in a row right there to shorten the score, 8-3. Right, so we do have the next game coming up. Looks like a Hebomai opening up with a T-spin single right there. Meanwhile, Haha is opening up with the T-spin double, changing that into yet again another T-spin double, sending 4 and 5 lines of solid garbage running over to Hebomai's field. But of course, Hebomai easily taking that in and sending that garbage right back on over to HaHaHa. Ha still in the downstacking process. Looks like he's going to set up for a T-spin double right there. Going to chain that into a little bit of downstacking. Actually going to set up for the Tetris right there. Meanwhile, Hebomai having a little bit of difficulty rotating his T-piece, but it looks like he will be able to successfully pull off that T-spin double. In the meantime, Haha making a very fatal, crucial misdrop right there. Is it going to be fatal? Looks like that is not going to be fatal, as he is able to set up for the T-spin single right there and continue down stacking. Hebomai still on the offense, though, as he is setting up for some back-to-back Tetrises.
Building a Tetris on your own mid-game is kind of rare unless you're just completing it like it's almost made. But it is kind of a timing technique too. It allows you to delay without sending anything and still be able to defend in a little bit from now, you know? I was going to say something else and I completely spaced out. You're infecting me.
All right, so Haha receiving a nice spike of garbage from Hebomai, but it looks like he will be able to downstack through it again. Oh, but the garbage just didn't stop coming. Hebomai constantly sending garbage over and over again right there, and once again picking up another victory, ending Haha's very short winning streak of 2 games, and the score is now 9-3 in Hebomai's favor.
Oh yeah, rhythm. Players get into a rhythm with their playing that helps them maintain their speed and their pace and their thinking all at once. And so if you just sit there and wait, you really throw that off, which is one reason why continuing to build up while you're waiting is really pretty useful.
All right, so we have the next game going on between Hebomai and Ha. Ha, again, a lot of back and forth action between the two. As we've seen, both of these players are so good at down stacking, so good at stacking up, that unless one of these players either makes a mistake or does something that they shouldn't have, and the other person takes advantage of this or takes the opportunity, a lot of this is just back and forth action, and this is actually that makes the game very unpredictable in the sense that Ha actually making a misdrop with that eyepiece, not able to break down that Tetris, and then following that up with another another misdrop, completely blocking out his entryway, his garbage hole, and that completely shuts down HAHAHA right there. Hebomai picking up another victory right there with a score of 10-3.
I think I'm slowly coming on board with the Hebomai trolling us all point
Yeah.
of view. 10-3. Nicely done.
So of course, this is the win by 50. Or this is first to 15 win by 2, and in the situation that Hebomai is going right now, looks like Hebomai is going to pick up a relatively quick victory right here. So can HaHaHa make a comeback in this game? We will find out as these games progress. HaHaHa going for that standard T-spin double and Tetris opener that we have seen a lot. Looks like Hebomai. Whoa. Hebomai just stopping right there for like 3 seconds, and that caused like 60% of his field to just burst up in garbage, and then HaHa just continuing his downstacking and just topping him over. Not quite sure what happened there.
Well, Hebomai started out, and HaHaHa had some misdrops he was cleaning up. So Hebomai sent him a bunch of garbage, but it was all clean garbage. So when HaHaHa got to it, he sent it all right back to Hebomai. And the timing was really poor for Hebomai because he had that one little hole off to the left next to his Tetris stack that he had to clear out first, and the only piece he could use for that was an eye, which he would need for the Tetris to follow it up. Otherwise, he would have covered it up. And either way, he made 2 holes and couldn't continue his combo, so he was just in an indefensible position.
All right, so again, Ha going to go for those T-spin doubles and Tetris's combo builds right there. Meanwhile, Hebomai still in a great position near the bottom of his field. Looks like he's going to try to downstack and get to the bottom. He is receiving a little bit of solid garbage that he will be able to send immediately right back on over to Ha. Ha is going to set up for some more T-spin doubles right there and going to stack up for a Tetris, I believe. And again, some more back and forth action. Hebomai going to set up for the T-spin single and going to follow that up with not quite sure if that was intentional or not, but it looks like that's not going to matter too much as he is able to break down some back-to-back Tetrises right there, sending HaHaHa closer to the top of his matrix. Now, someone did mention in the chat if you should prefer triples rather than Tetrises. So that is actually not something you would want to do in the sense that although triples send 2 lines or send garbage in a zigzagged pattern and does not give the opportunity for your opponents to send that solid garbage immediately back, triples only send 2 lines of garbage while Tetrises send 4. So unless you're doing this, I'm sending triples in a very strategic and situational basis. Tetrises are T-spin, no, what am I talking about? Triples are not something that you want to consistently set up for. Meanwhile, Hebomai getting dangerously close to topping out. And yes, HaHa does pick up another game right here. 104 lines sent in 1:28 seconds. And the score is now 10-5 in Hebomai's favor.
Yeah, T-spin sends twice as many lines as it clears, and a triple sends 2/3 of what it clears, so it's a really ineffective attack. Many players rely on short combos instead of stacking doubles and triples in order to get some messy garbage in there, or they wind up clearing a bunch of doubles and triples when they're down stacking through a mess. And you'll notice that it seems like when one person has a really messy field they have to get through, and they downstack through it, then the other person gets a messy field. And when one person spikes with a really clean spike, the other person does too. HaHaHa with some bad misdrops there, fixes it up with a kind of a nice twist, but it's not enough. And that game goes to Hebomai. So it is now, what, 10-5? 11?
11.
Did Viral jump the gun? All right, there.
So Hebomai finishing off that game with that T-spin single right there, that last spike, just keeping tabs on his opponent, making sure that he could take advantage of every opportunity. He saw that Ha was at the top of his field. Hebomai say, I don't need to build this up into a T-spin double. I can just send the T-spin single right now and top him out, and that's exactly what he did. Hebomai picking up the victory via knockout. All right, so it looks like Ha once again going to open up with his standard T-spin double opener right there. It looks like he did make a misdrop with that eyepiece, and that is actually a bigger misdrop than you would think so, because he had to use 2 eyepieces just to fix that up. So he basically lost 2 eyepieces right there. And of course, because of the importance of Tetrises in competitive Tetris, the eyepieces are very valuable. The eyepieces and T-pieces probably the most valuable pieces in the game. in the sense of damage output. So Ha actually getting quite a bit of a detrimental effect right there, but looks like he will be able to hang on there for a little bit longer, using his excellent downstacking skills at the top of his matrix to try to get into a safer position. Meanwhile, Hebomai going to set up for the T-spin double, and now once again on the offenses. As we have seen, Hebomai, once he gets on the offense, the garbage output is basically endless. He constantly pummels his opponents with garbage, and even though it is solid garbage, the mere volume of the garbage is so high that HaHa most likely will have a little bit of difficulty dealing with it.
Well, he didn't get a chance to find out, I suppose. That's 12-5 now for Hebomai. 93 lines sent to 63 that last game. I was going to say something about Tetris's. Oh, yeah. Even though Tetrises send the same amount of garbage as a T-spin, they're actually more useful defensively because they clear 4 off the screen as well. So you can not only remove 4 from your screen, you can remove 4 or 5 from your garbage queue as well. And that makes up to a real easy way to tread water if you're really on the defensive. But if you don't have eyes to downstack through your garbage with, then you can't do that. And that's why that kind of a misdrop is so difficult for players, because you only get one, every 7 pieces.
All right, so HaHa once again getting pushed near the top of his matrix. Looks like he will be able to downstack through this. Yes, there is that Tetris, and he is going to time that to make sure that he does block some garbage, but still he's in a dangerous position. Does have that T-spin clutch, T-spin double set up right there. That is going to keep him alive, but of course he's going to follow that up with the misdrop. He's going to soft drop that blue piece to fix that up, but at what cost? He did have to soft drop. That is going to slow him down. Is he going to go for a T-spin triple? No, he's not. We actually have never seen a T-spin triple so far in this tournament, so I'm hoping to see one eventually. What was that?
There was one earlier in the Blink versus HaHaHa match.
Oh, I actually didn't
I think
even
you were
catch
talking
that.
though, so I didn't get to point it out.
Oh, HaHa picking up the victory right there via knockout. 69 lines sent to 89. Victory via knockout, and the score is now 12-6, still in Hebomai's favor.
Mid-game T-spin triples usually come about as a result of a misdrop. It can be a really easy way to clean up your stack and send some garbage, and it's a recognizable pattern for people who are as familiar with the game as these are. So Hebomai's got double HaHaHa's score.
Yes, he does. He has been consistently keeping up quite a padding of basically a luxury right there of his victories. And he's staying in a safer position. Looks like Hebomai, if he continues on this streak, he will be able to pick up the victory in this tournament right now. Someone actually mentioning the key smashing. That's actually my keyboard. I have a mechanical keyboard, so with the blue switches, so it is actually a little bit loud. Meanwhile, we do have a match going on. Looks like Ha, again, in a dangerous position near the top of his matrix, but as we've seen over and over again, Ha, literally in a split second, will get down to the bottom of his matrix. Looks like he did follow that up with an O-piece misdrop right there, and that is going to slow him down by a little bit. Looks like he's going to take advantage of his spin knowledge to try to get that cleaned up as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Hebomai, once again on the offense. Look at those fast Tetrises. He's constantly over and over again. Air T-spin double, and that most likely will be the end for Ha, and yes, it is. Hebomai picking up quite a dominating victory right there. 74 lines sent in 55 seconds versus Ha's 34. Basically, that's a double, right? That's over double the amount of lines that Ha sends, and once again reinforcing his score, 13-6.
I kind of feel bad for HaHaHa here. I mean, he must have been really pumped after that last match. But now he's got a long, steep hill to climb in order to come back from this.
All right, so the score is now 13-6. Hebomai in favor. Looks like HaHa stacking up for the hybrid T-spin double and Tetris build that, as we have seen, but most likely not the best idea when he is this much in danger. As Hebomai still on the offense, going to go for the T-spin double, and some nice timing by HaHa, making sure to block some of that incoming garbage, as he does not want to send garbage over to Hebomai when he is in such a disadvantaged position, as that's only going to harm him in the long run, as that is going to give some ammo to Hebomai. Because Hebomai having a little bit of difficulty over on his field with some misdrops, and now HaHa looks like he is in a good position to near the bottom of his matrix, but Hebomai fixing that up relatively quickly, going to go for the T-spin doubles and Tetrises, trying to downstack and spike out HaHaHa.
Vertical eyepiece over his garbage over there, but he managed to clear it out so quickly it's almost not worth commenting on. I don't even know.
All right, so Hebamai, once again, some T-spin doubles right there. Both players are receiving quite a bit of garbage. Looks like this ghost T-piece randomly sticking around there, but it looks like that is going to clean itself down. That is just a little bit of a bug in the spectator mode. Meanwhile, Hebamai picking up the victory once again. The score is now 14-6. This is game point. And Verlance now saying HAHAHA needs 10 wins in a row to be able to win this tournament.
You never know. It might be HaHaHa who's trolling us. He needs a Bankai right now, that's for sure. Maybe Blink can lend him one.
All right, so let's see how this game goes up. Again, this is match point for Hebamai. If Hebamai wins this match, he will be the retain his title as the World Competitive Tetris Champion. Hebamai off to a relatively good start. Going to go for some solid spike outs. There is the win. That is the last game. Hebamai picking up the victory, 18 lines sent to 7 in a quick 17-second match game. Hebamai is the reigning and keeping his title as the World Competitive Tetris Champion. And of course, as by request, I must say this, Hebamai is out of control. So congratulations to Hebamai. For the victory, 2 years in a row, Tetris Tournament Online 1 and 2. Hebamai picking up the finishing victory with a dominating score of 15-6. And Hebamai saying, hey, I might have lost the first set, but I had something up my sleeve. This is what I can really do here. Picking up the victory 15-6. Quite a victory right there. Hebamai still the reigning world champion.